and welcome to our special presentation on India's big show in Paralympic Games. From 19 medals in Tokyo to 29 in Paris, Indian athletes are returning with a rich haul of medals this time around. In Rio, there were 19 para participants from India. In Tokyo, there were 19 medals won. What has helped the ecosystem and caused a surge in the number of para medals? Joining me at this hour is Suhas Elvai, silver medalist from the Tokyo and Paris Olympic Games, and he's also the Secretary Sports at UP of UP government. Thank you very, very much for joining us on broadcast, sir. Tell us a little bit about your Paris experience. You had won a silver medal in Tokyo, followed it up with one in Paris. Tell us a little bit about what was the difference between the two medals.
Yes, when I went to, thanks Rica, first of all, for having me on the show. It's a pleasure joining. And yes, indeed, it's a stupendous performance by all the athletes. As you rightly said, 29 medals so far and highest medal tally. And everyone is happy. And for an athlete, there is no better thing than to actually give a moment for fellow countrymen to feel proud and joyous. So yes, as athletes, we feel proud and happy with respect to the kind of reception that we have gotten, the kind of support that we have got from the general public and also the government. With respect to the Paris journey, when I went to Tokyo, I did not expect a medal of myself, and probably the country also did not have much hopes then. But once you become a Paralympic medalist, then when you go next time, there is that much pressure. This time I went in as world #1 player, so handling pressure is a different ball game altogether. So this time, yes, winning silver makes an athlete very happy. Ideally, I would have liked to win gold, but that's how sport is. Some days you win, some days you don't. But overall, 2 Paralympic medals, and along the circuit last year was able to win Asian Para Games gold. So I think, yes, the journey has been quite satisfactory.
Well, it's not just the medal that you have come back with, but I think a very big group of fans as well. I saw pictures of you traveling on the tube from Saint Denis, from the village to Eiffel Tower with the NDTV team, and there were so many people around you trying to click pictures and take autographs of you. Tell us a little bit about the new fan following that you have.
It's a very humbling experience. Growing up, never thought life would take me to so many places, whether it's becoming a computer engineer from NIT or becoming an IAS officer or a Paralympic medalist. I think that is how journey of life is. You just keep moving forward with one step at a time. And all I would like to say to youngsters is I am just like one of you, many thousands or lakhs of youngsters, whoever will be watching this show. I think the biggest achievement of an athlete, medal, yes, they're all good. But if we as athletes can inspire a few fellow countrymen to take up what they want to do in life, that I think is highly satisfying. So yes, I feel happy, but at the same time, it gives us more responsibility, the way we conduct ourselves. And sport is a great leveler. Every match starts from 0-0. This time also, I had to fight so hard to win silver medal. I think sports teaches lesson for all of us that we have to accept failures and success on our side and keep moving forward.
Suhas, you are not just a medalist from the Games, but you're also Secretary of Sports, the UP government. You are in a position to make change, to move the needle. Do you think that, like the able-bodied Olympians, it's time for Paralympians also to enter textbooks across the country and be celebrated as much as the other Olympians are celebrated?
They are already being celebrated thanks to social media and thanks to new resurgence in the society. Paralympic Games have become part of mainstream. I think Tokyo has been watershed moment in that sense, that when we came back in 2021, the way our Honorable PM received each one of us and the way he encouraged us. And I think in today's day and age, Paralympic athletes have as much responsibility, if not more, with respect to society. And I would urge the society also to view Para Games with the same amount of competitiveness and encouragement. And I don't think sympathy is the way to go forward. It's moving forward with positivity, and I don't know about textbooks, but already we are breaking the mainstream ceiling that we had in the past. Now the real challenge is to inspire those athletes and especially para athletes at the villages in the rural hinterlands of India to actually come forward and take up games, and don't worry about failure. Just try your heart out and rest, leave it to destiny.
Well, you know, why we talk about social inclusion through sports of people who are disabled or not able-bodied, but do you think that this sort of a performance by the Paralympic contingent will also help the other people who are not taking to active sports be looked at a little differently?
Yes, always, whether it's performance at the highest level in the world, there is no bigger sporting achievement that an athlete can do, whether it's in Olympics or in Paralympics. It generally tends to inspire every countryman. It's not only in India, but across the world. Olympians and Paralympians are celebrated for what they do. So I think as a country, we are already doing that. We should focus on physical fitness. At least take out 1 hour per day to eat more healthy, to be more physically fitter. That would not only help in individuals' health, but it also helps in bringing out the best, bringing out efficiency in terms of their work, or they might be working in corporate sector. They would be able to deliver the results better if they are physically and mentally fit. As a country, we'll do better if we take sports or any passion seriously and take some time for it.
So has during Paris Olympic Games and even in Tokyo, we saw that you had an accessibility partner. Do you think that having an accessibility partner and making areas accessible also helps upping in performances, also helps athletes hugely, because it also adds to a certain sense of dignity?
Yes, I think societies have become quite sensitivity to accessibility issues across the country, and there are different challenges in urban areas, in rural areas, and in different infrastructures. For example, stadium will have its own challenges, and the more partners, whether it is government or private, corporate partners, media partners, the more we talk about it, the more we discuss about it and find solutions. It's good for everyone, all stakeholders.
Thank you very, very much for joining us on the show, and we will very closely follow you and hope for another medal from you come LA.
Thanks, Rika. Thanks for having me.
We are also joined on the show by Paris Olympic gold medalist Harinder Singh. He, of course, has won a historic gold medal in archery. We are joined by Sharat Kumar, silver medalist from the Paris Para Games. He is a repeat medalist. He won a bronze medal in the last Paralympic Games. We are joined by bronze medalist Preeti Pal and Simran Sharma. We are also joined by Manik Sharma, the Regional Director of Sports Authority of India in Gujarat. Thank you very much, all of us, for joining on this broadcast. And I will start with Harinder. Harinder, a historic moment for not just para sports, but I would say able-bodied sports also. In India, we haven't really seen an archery gold medal. Tell us a little bit about, you know, the pressure of performance that was on you, because you are also a repeat medalist. You had won one medal in Tokyo, and you changed the color of your medal this time around.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And the moment at the time I was in final, that was very pleasurable moment, because archery as a sports, it is just like unpredictable game. So we somehow just have to handle our pressure, make our focus. So I'm really happy, quite happy, because I just somehow able to handle that pressure and deliver my best in my final, and became a champion is really a proud moment for me in Paris Paralympics for my country, because this is just a historic medal for India. As previous, I have just won bronze medal in previous Paralympics, but now as became champion, really proud.
Let me go over to Sharad. It's not just Harvinder, but Sharad is also a second-time medalist from the Para Games. You won one medal in Tokyo, converted another one in Paris. Tell us a little bit about how the two medals were different, the Paris and the experience, I would say, of winning the medals in Tokyo and Paris.
Thank you, Richa, for having me on the show. Also, the fact that I'm a repeated medalist is a dream come true for me, and especially I changed it from bronze to silver. Uh, See, both the Paralympics have been very different for us. Particularly, first one was during the COVID times, and the second one right now when it was all jam-packed stadium. During the Tokyo times, I think that's when the 19 medalists got the para movement coming very ahead. But with Paris, like we are on 29 medals with all different sports category winning a medal and new double time, two-time medalists like Priti Pal and all of them have come a long, long way. And it seems like they have been supported very well and funded very well and their training has been on spot on. Uh, for me, the journey has been difficult during the COVID time since my coach was there, but that also was on and off, on and off. And this time it was just me myself training all by myself in Philippines for a year, where it was just through video calls. Me, I tried a couple of times to get in touch with coach, try to get him to Philippines, but due to the war there, it was just impossible. And this time the training schedule had to be changed a couple of times with the timings of coach in Ukraine and me in the Philippines. Like it was a vast, like about 6.5 hours time difference. So a
Okay.
lot of things had to be coordinated. And there were times where I was training at midnight. There were times where I was training early morning just to keep up the things going with me and my coach. Because see, ultimately high jump is something where you need the coach to always be paying attention to your movements, and particularly para athletes where each day your strength increases or reduces according to the movements you've been doing. So it is a very, very difficult situation. But as a whole, I would say that the country has been in a progress note when they won in the first, like right going to Devendra Bhaiya and then coming to 2012. And then, what to say, then going to Rio and then coming to Tokyo and then now finally in Paris, it looks like we have shown our position that, India is a sporting nation, particularly in para sports. And for me, it was like such a time where Go Sports Foundation came in all out saying, I had lost trust in myself after I couldn't make it to the team in the Asian Games or the
Right.
World Championship due to injury. But there was this place where Go Sports Foundation came in all out and said, just give it one shot of your all. And they put in all. And particularly, I would say that my manager who was managing me was the person who was more sure than me that I would be at the podium. So
Right.
that's when I realized every time sports has had a different definition for me. Like in
Right.
London, it was a different definition. In Rio, it became different. In Tokyo, it became different. And now
Absolutely.
at Paris, I felt that I know the sports, what it's supposed to mean to me, but it just keeps getting a new definition.
Indeed, indeed. Let me also go over to Preeti and Simran, who've been blazing the tracks along with you, both are track and field medalists. Preeti, पहले तो आपका 100 meter का medal आ गया था. We knew that was a historic medal because you were the first woman to have medaled in 100 meters in the Para Games for India. फिर आपका 200 meter आया. जब 200 meter आया, we were all very surprised because that was not an event that you were very strong at, isn't it?
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बिग अचीवमेंट्स है और ये मेरे लिए गोल्ड मेडल है। दोनों ब्रोंज मेडल को मैं गोल्ड की तरह ही देख रही हूँ क्योंकि मेरा फर्स्ट पैरालंपिक मेडल है ये। और यहाँ का सफर मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा रहा है। जो मेरे कोच गजेंद्र सिंह है उन्होंने मुझे यहाँ तक पहुँचाया है और जो मेरी सपोर्टिव पार्टनर है सिमरन दी, हमने सबने साथ मिलकर बहुत मेहनत की है इसके लिए। उसके लिए बहुत बहुत थैंक यू।
सिमरन, लेट मी ऑल्सो कम टू यू। आपने भी काफ़ी मेहनत की है आपके इस ब्रॉन्ज मेडल के लिए। 200 मीटर का यू वेंट इनटू द पेरिस ओलंपिक गेम्स, पैरालंपिक गेम्स एज द वर्ल्ड चैंपियन. आप पर काफ़ी प्रेशर रहा होगा. सिमरन, सिमरन, आप पेरिस ओलंपिक गेम्स में वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बनने के बाद गए हुए थे. आप पर क्या काफ़ी प्रेशर था?
यस मैम, ये सबसे बड़ा गेम है पैरालंपिक्स, तो प्रेशर रहता ही है प्लेयर के ऊपर. पर हम बहुत मेहनत करके आए थे उधर से, और 100 मीटर में मैं फाइनल में 4th रह गई थी. कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स थी, तो उसके बाद और मोरल डाउन हो गया था कि अब शायद नहीं कर पाऊंगी मैं, क्योंकि मेरा मेन गेम 100 मीटर ही था. पर जो मेरी टीम थी, जो हमारी फेडरेशन है, हमारे कोचेस है, मेरे आसपास रहने वाले लोगों ने मुझे इतना मोटिवेट किया कि नहीं तुम करो, और तुम करोगी, तुम्हारा कल मेडल आएगा, पक्का आएगा. क्योंकि हमारी एक हीट थी, फिर सेमीफाइनल थी, फिर फाइनल थी. 4 दिन में मेरी 6 रेस थी, और 6 रेस ऑल आउट भागना, और इतने मेंटल प्रेशर के साथ, ये मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात थी. और जो सपोर्टिंग सिस्टम था वो बहुत अच्छा था. कभी भी खिलाड़ी का अकेले मेडल नहीं आता, ये टीम वर्क होता है. सिर्फ हम खिलाड़ी के फेस को दिखा देते हैं, एक खिलाड़ी का फेस हाईलाइट होता है, पर उसके पीछे बहुत लोगों की मेहनत होती है. तो हम तो एक गीली मिट्टी की तरह रहते हैं, पर हमें डिजाइन करा जाता है कोच के थ्रू, टीम के थ्रू, फिजियोज, एसएनसी, डाइटिशियन. तो मैम, मैं उन सब के लिए थैंक यू बोलना चाहूंगी, अपनी फेडरेशन के लिए, साई के लिए, टॉप्स के लिए, हमारे स्पॉन्सर्स OGQ. तो मैम,
सिमरन,
ये सब उनका मेडल.
सिमरन, आपका जो इशू है वो विजुअल इम्पेयरमेंट है. एक विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड इंसान को ट्रैक पर भागना ये कोई आसान बात नहीं है, बट यू ऑल्सो रन विद द हेल्प ऑफ समवन. अभय आपके साथी होते हैं, तो आप थोड़ा सा बताइए, जो कि विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड है वो भी आपके तरह कैसे चैंपियन बन सकते हैं?
एक्चुअली मैम, सबकी अलग अलग तरह की प्रॉब्लम होती है, किसी की सेम नहीं होती. मेरी जो प्रॉब्लम है वो साइड, थोड़ा मुझे साइड से दिखता है, और चीजें ब्लिंग होती है, और धूप में ज्यादा नहीं दिखता, रात में नहीं दिखता, और मौसम खराब हो जाए तो नहीं दिखता. तो सेम नहीं होता, सबका अलग अलग होता है. किसी को बिल्कुल ही नहीं दिखता. और जब भी मैं पहले भागती थी, तो भागते भागते मेरी लाइन चेंज हो जाती थी, मेरे को पता नहीं लगता था कि लाइन चेंज हुई है. पर वो शायद साइड से देखने की वजह से मेरा पोस्चर उस तरीके से हो गया था बचपन से ही. तो प्रॉब्लम्स तो काफी आती है मैम, और इसीलिए ही शायद मुझे गाइड लेना पड़ा. हमारी कैटेगरी में कंपलसरी नहीं होता, ऑप्शनल होता है.
We are also joined by Manik Sharma, the regional director of SAI. He is in charge of the Gandhinagar Center. Manikanji, tell us how the government has progressively now helped these para-athletes to perform at the level that they have during this Olympic Games, from Tokyo, from, I would say, London to Paris. We have really walked a very, very long distance in these last 12 years.
So thank you, Rica, for having me here and giving this opportunity. So if we see the progress from London to Paris, the government has substantially increased the support in para sports consistently. Especially if we look at the introduction of the Target Olympic Podium scheme in September 2024 has been a major milestone. Which provides the athlete-specific assistance to various medal probables and their needs related to foreign exposure, international competition, requirement of various equipment, and foreign coaches are met through this. And it has been, reflected over a period of time, the way the contingent size has increased over a period of time from London, where only 10 athletes participated, and now in Paris Olympic Games, 84 athletes have participated. As a matter of fact, the 84 athletes of Paris Olympic Games were part of, some or other government of India scheme, in terms of TOPS, in terms of Khelo India, or in terms of National Center of Excellence.
Right.
There has been consistent effort in bringing more and more, I mean, giving more and more, foreign exposure to the athletes. In last Paris Olympic cycle, if we look at, there were more than 110, foreign exposure programs. Not only that, only for international exposure, but at the domestic level, how can we create a robust domestic competition structure? The Khelo India, para games were started last year.
Right.
Not that there has been a series of incremental steps which have been introduced, like in Paris Games this time. First time recovery center was installed at in Olympic Village to ensure that all on competition related injury rehabilitation can be ensured.
Right.
In fact, the support staff has increased in a large way. Previously during London, I think it was almost 50%. Now, almost equal size of coaches and support staff has been sent as a part of contingent. So these initiatives to improvise the entire sports ecosystem, keeping the athletes at the center stage, has played a key role. And now we can see how the performance of India in para sports has gone up and up over a period of time. London just 1 medal, then we went for Rio Games just 4 medal, then it risen up to 19 medal in Tokyo, and now we are at 29 in the current ongoing Paris Olympic Games. And if you look at the medal check till Tokyo Games, the number of total medals, and if we see today current Paris Olympic Games is almost 90% share.
Right, right. Now these Olympics done, let me go over to the athletes once again, Harinder, and I'd like to ask you, 2 medals now from 2 Olympic Games. I know that you are pursuing your PhD, but what is it that you really expect of the ecosystem? We do know that a lot of the Olympians, when they came back, they got a lot of money, they got jobs. Jobs has been a sticking point, I think, for most of you.
Yes, I think all the things they are not matters only on the ground of money. The only thing that is matter recognition. So in many states, जैसे कि हमने देखा है कुछ states में जो policies हैं वो एबल्स और डिफरेंट एबल्स की बराबर हैं, लेकिन कुछ स्टेट्स में अभी कुछ टाइम पहले डाउन कर दी गई हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि इन टर्म्स ऑफ मनी काफ़ी कुछ सेम है, लेकिन रिकॉग्नाइजेशन वो मान सम्मान मिलना कुछ स्टेट्स में अभी भी कम है पैरा एथलीट्स को लेकर। तो लेकिन ये जो परफॉर्मेंस है जो इंडिया की इस पैरालंपिक्स में हमने देखी, तो इतने मेडल आना ये अपने आप में एक बड़ी बात है। और मुझे लगता है कि ये सारी चीज़ें, ये इकोसिस्टम है जो इंडिया में, उसको बदलने में डेफिनेटली कामयाब रहेंगी कि जो पैरा एथलीट्स हैं वो वर्ल्ड लेवल पे अपने आप को इस तरीके से प्रूव कर रहे हैं, और निश्चित तौर पर आगे आने वाले समय में हमें और भी ज़्यादा तरक्की देखने को मिलेगी पैरा स्पोर्ट्स।
Sharad, let me go over to you. Life must have changed a lot between Tokyo and Paris, though it's just been 3 years. However, you changed the color of your medal. What next for you now?
See, the only thing now I realize is that I'm not being able to plan my future movements. I'm now taking each day at a step, and I think that's the right approach, because sometimes I get very emotional. I think, okay, this is it. I think I will not be able, my body will not be able to help me and carry on ahead. But then I realize that my fitness is getting better. My performance has increased. I'm doing a PB, and like my training sessions, my efforts in the training has become drastically more. So when initially I used to think that age is actually going to play a big different role in my life, but I'm proving myself wrong there. And hence, I'm not being able to accommodate whether saying that let's just finish it off or let's just carry on. It depends on the type of surrounding I am having or I will have. What will they advise me? And also looking at my body structure, is it going to carry on helping me, or the fitness? It all depends on that. But for now, I'm totally content and satisfied because, see, I'm well placed in the government too, in Delhi government, and also like the financial parts where the government is supporting, that's also very well sorted. So the stress for me as an athlete is done, but I would be very happy, like the following young athletes, they also get the same thing that I have got from my state and my country, because they deserve it. They have put in every effort and they have worked towards it, like a disciplined and a total professional athlete. And there is nothing that now they have not done or their coaches have not done. They have made their point. And I think we've become a mainstream sport. And with this, we'll be moving ahead. And for me to take decisions in the future, like what should I carry on or not, just depends on my body, how it's going to be behaving. So it's going to be, I think, a joyous and a adventurous ride, I think, again. And maybe I will try to get in touch with a new coach, something like that. I'll try and figure out. But
It is.
for now, I'm very
Your-
happy and content.
Well, it's been exciting for all of us to follow your journey. Sharad, one last question to you. Really, all of you guys are giving a bigger message to the society that if you are disabled doesn't mean that you can't do greater deeds. But the ones who don't take up sports, do you think with your achievement, they will also be looked at a little differently now? They will be given a lot of respect and they will be looked at with dignity?
See, I think right now in our country, the notion and sports idea has been uplifted, particularly I would say by the governments and the policies that are being formulated, and the athletes' performance. Together, it is helping to give it a very nice awareness and static movement. So I think we as an athlete, we have managed to take it forward,
Right.
let it reach the people. And now we cannot say that, oh, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that as a normal person. I think everybody has time for everything, just it's about priorities. And also trying to be, see, everybody works to a certain goal to achieve that, thinking that this is going to make them happy.
Right.
But they don't realize that even health is at that one point where your real happiness lies. And we as a para athlete or just
Yeah.
person with disability, we are trying to say that when we can try to use this as a tool for our mindset, our body and everything, I think you don't have no excuse and you should be going ahead.
Absolutely.
And also looking at the amount of infrastructure that has grown in our country with the amount of stadiums, gymnasiums, parks, which are now accessible to a lot of people, not just people with disability also can access them. So I think things are in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Now it is all on the intent of the people, whether they want to carry it ahead and be physically fit, mentally fit, and try to see when a country is physically and mentally fit. I think that inculcates and helps the country grow
Absolutely.
more
Sky is the
faster and
limit.
better.
Really, when you're
Yeah.
physically fit and mentally fit, sky is the limit. And we are giving that message through all of you, through our Paralympians joining us on the show today after a record-breaking performance at the Paris Paralympic Games, where they went on to win 29 medals. With that, a wrap on the show. Thank you very much for watching.